Well, hey everybody, Mr. Reeves back with you, and I just wanted to make a quick addendum video. That, for those of you who don't know, addendum is a short additional thing or part to my previous video on introduction to inequalities and graphing inequalities, because every now and then you're going to come across an inequality that is written like this. All right, so we are used to inequalities where the variable is on the left hand side. So again, x is greater than 4. So that one again would go to the right, all the values bigger than 4, or this one, y is less than or equal to 3, all the values that are smaller or equal to 3 going to the left. So we're used to greater than going to the right and less than going to the left. And that's what happens when the variables are on the left-hand side. But what happens when the variables are on the right-hand side? Well, with equations, you could flip around 3 equals 1 plus 2 or 1 plus 2 equals 3. It really doesn't matter. But with inequalities, it does, because it's going to work the opposite. So if you take a look at this, this says -5 is greater than x. Remember, x is what we're looking for. X are the solutions. So we're looking for all values such that -5 is bigger than them. So I'm going to go ahead and put this -5 there. And you can see now it says correct. And you're going, well, wait, that's less than, because it goes to the left. But what does this say? It says -5 is bigger than all the values of x. So again, when you make a graph, that arrow part, this represents your x values. These are your x values, okay? Right here is -5. So if I were to ask you what this is a graph of, you probably would tell me x is less than -5, which is correct. But another way to say that is -5 is greater than x. So if the variable is on the right-hand side, all right, then everything works the opposite, okay? So this says -5 is bigger than all of my x values. So that's what that graph looks like, okay? So let's go ahead now. This one right here, x is back on the left-hand side. So x is greater than or equal to -7. Well, it's equal to, so I'm going to fill in that circle. And then I'm going to go to the right, all right? All right, now x is on the right side. So what does this say? -2 is greater than all the x values. So I'm going to put it on -2. Doesn't have an equal, so I'm going to make it an open circle. But it says -2 has to be bigger than the x's. If you look where it is right now, -2 is smaller than all the x's. So if I flip it the other way, there we go. -2 is greater than all of these x values. Okay, back to the left, x is less than or equal to 1, so it's on 1. I'm going to put a closed circle. All right, excuse me, x is less than or equal to 1. So right, that's right. So these are all our x values, and all of our x values here are less than or equal to 1. All right, now the variable's on the right. -1, all right, -1 has to be greater than all the x values. All right, so here are all the x values. This would be correct, except we need an open circle. Now we are correct. So you see how that works, okay? All of the x values, -1 has to be bigger than them. Here's all again, here are all of my x values. Everything down here, these are my x values. We could write this as x is less than -1, but they wrote it as -1 is greater than x. So notice if you just kind of flip this around, like can you just picture it rotating like on a merry-go-round? If you rotate this around, this is what it becomes. -1 is greater than x is the same as x is less than -1. All right, two more. X is greater than or equal to -6. So again, I'm going to go to -6. I'm going to make it a closed circle, but I want the x values to be bigger than -6, so I need to go the other way. My x values are greater than -6. Actually, let me do one more where the variable's on the right, okay? Before we graph this one, let's just flip this one around. -5 is greater than x. If I just flip it around, what do I get? I get x is less than -5. Maybe that's easier for you if you just flip it around and then go to graph it. X is less than -5. All right, we want an open circle, right? And we need it to go the other way, right? We need all of the X values to be less than -5, or we need -5 to be bigger than all of these X values. Okay, so I just wanted to bring that to your attention because you are going to come across some inequalities where the variable is on the right-hand side, and you really have to think about it, or just flip it around and look at it the other way. Instead of saying -5 is greater than X, go ahead and say X is less than -5. And then it's like what you're used to, and then you can go from there. All right, hope this short little video was helpful. Have a great day.